Welcome back to Dquotes, where we dive deep into the ideas and stories that shape our world. Today, we're exploring a book that has become a cornerstone in business literature, a book that has guided countless companies and leaders in their quest for excellence. I'm talking about Good to Great by Jim Collins. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's embark on this journey together. What does it take for a good company to become great? Is it sheer luck, a charismatic leader, or maybe a groundbreaking product? Jim Collins and his research team spent 5 years studying this very question. They sifted through 1,435 companies, narrowing them down to just 11 that made the leap from good to great, and sustained that greatness for at least 15 years. What they discovered were key principles that can guide any organization, or even individuals, toward greatness. Let's start with the concept of Level 5 leadership. Picture this: it's the late 1970s, and there's a small, unassuming man named Darwin Smith. He's just been appointed CEO of Kimberly-Clark, a company known at the time for making paper products. Smith didn't have the charisma or flashy style of many top executives. In fact, when he got the job, he quietly told his wife, "I guess they made a mistake." But what Smith did next was nothing short of extraordinary. Now, let's delve into the hedgehog concept. Have you ever heard the story of the fox and the hedgehog? The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. In business, this means that great companies find the one thing they can be the best at, something they are deeply passionate about, and something that drives their economic engine. Take Walgreens, for example. In the 1970s, Walgreens made a strategic decision to focus on convenience. They realized they could be the best in the world at operating drugstores with the most convenient locations and superior customer service. They didn't try to be everything to everyone. They focused on their hedgehog concept and executed it relentlessly. Over time, Walgreens outperformed its competitors, achieving sustained success. Collins emphasizes this with a powerful quote: "You must be willing to discard what you can't be the best in the world at." If you cannot be the best at your core business, then your core business cannot form the basis of a great company. But it's not just about having the right people or a clear focus. It's also about creating a culture of discipline. This isn't about strict rules or micromanagement. It's about having disciplined people who engage in disciplined thought and take disciplined action. This is what separates great companies from merely good ones. Consider Dquotes, a steel manufacturer that embraced this culture of discipline. Dquotes wasn't the biggest or the most well-known, but it became one of the most profitable steel companies. How? By creating a culture where every employee, from the CEO to the factory floor, was committed to operational excellence. They innovated by using mini-mills instead of traditional steel mills, which allowed them to produce steel more cheaply and efficiently. Dquotes' disciplined approach to innovation and cost management allowed them to consistently outperform their competitors. Smith made the bold decision to sell off Kimberly-Clark's paper mills, the backbone of their business, and invest in consumer brands like Kleenex and Huggies. It was a risky move, but it was driven by a deep-seated humility and an iron will to make the company great. Smith wasn't interested in personal glory, he was committed to the success of Kimberly-Clark. And guess what? Under his leadership, Kimberly-Clark not only survived, but it thrived, outperforming its competitors, including the industry giant Procter & Gamble. This is what Collins calls Level 5 leadership, a paradoxical combination of personal humility and professional will. These leaders are modest, often shy, but they possess a relentless determination to do whatever it takes to make their company great. Next, let's talk about getting the right people on the bus. This might sound simple, but it's crucial. Imagine a bus with the wrong people in key seats. No matter how clear your destination, you're bound to veer off course. Collins illustrates this with the story of Wells Fargo. In the 1980s, under the leadership of Carl Icahn, Wells Fargo faced a tough decision. The banking industry was changing rapidly, and the company had to cut costs to survive. Icahn didn't start with what they needed to do. Instead, He focused on who, getting the right people on board and the wrong ones off. Wells Fargo cut unnecessary expenses, like selling off corporate jets, and focused on core banking activities. The result? Wells Fargo emerged as one of the top-performing banks in the U.S., as Collins puts it, the right people don't need to be tightly managed or fired up, they will be self-motivated by the inner drive to produce the best results and to be part of creating something great. So, what's the takeaway here? Good to Great isn't just a book about business strategies, it's a blueprint for achieving excellence in any endeavor. It teaches us that greatness is not a momentary achievement, but a disciplined, sustained effort over time. Whether you're leading a company, a team, or just yourself, the principles of Level 5 leadership, the Hedgehog Concept, a culture of discipline, and the flywheel effect can guide you to not just good, but great. Thank you for joining me today on this journey through Good to Great. I hope you found it as inspiring and insightful as I did. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit from these timeless lessons. Until next time, keep pushing that flywheel, and remember, greatness is within your reach.